Well, ladies and gentlemen, yes, it is a new creation. A new creation that me and this man right here, Bills, young man Bills, aka my boy Billy Trice. What's going on, bro? How you doing, man?
How you doing, Aaron? I can't complain, man.
Yo, this is the first, bro. You don't. No, I need your energy. Yo, this is the first episode of Fly Talk Podcast of the Fly
Yeah,
Talk
big facts.
Podcast, man. Where you
We're
at
on to
with it,
something
man?
right now. We're in the kitchen right now. We're on to something. Big things. Big things.
Absolutely. And me and Billy, we met in high school. I go to Rutgers University. I am 22 without kids. And you know that I am the host, one of the co-hosts of the As a Wolf podcast, which me and my other friend, Wassam Omar, is a part of. So I'm happy to bring you twice of me. You get double the dose, you know what I mean?
Yeah, double the dose of Aaron.
You heard me now.
God help us. God fucking help us.
So tell the people about you, man, and tell them what you got going on.
Well, again, my name is Billy Trice. I am a junior, last semester of a junior at East Stroudsburg University. On my way to graduating. I also have my own little YouTube channel, Couch Coaches, on 90.3 WSS every Thursday at 5 p.m. If you want to hear about, my viewpoints on what's going on in current events during sports. So, I got a lot to say, and hopefully you guys can listen. So, yeah.
Absolutely, and this is the first of many, ladies and gentlemen, and you can follow me at A Snyder A1. Again, A Snyder A1. You can follow this man Bills at.
You can follow me on Instagram at King_Bills with a Z, or you can also follow my Twitter at Bill Trice 31.
So let's get right into it. I know you guys are like, who starts a Eagles podcast in the middle of the season? Well, ladies and gentlemen, yes, that would be us.
Right.
That would be us.
Never too late.
Exactly. Let's get right into it, man. The Eagles coming off their victory of the Jacksonville Jaguars in their first ever overseas game in regular season. They won 24-18. What were your thoughts on the game, man? I'm so glad the Eagles won. We needed this victory.
Yeah, it was a big win for this Eagles team, especially, how much they've been struggling of late. And to lose that surefire win at home against the Carolina Panthers, that definitely hurt and that definitely was devastating. But they needed something to, to get that taste out of their mouth, that loss. They needed to, turn their season around in a sense because, after this game it's the bye and you don't want to have another game where, should have won and you lost.
Right.
Because you couldn't finish a whole game.
Right.
And if that would have happened again this past Sunday, that might have been detrimental to their season. And it
Absolutely.
Because, when you're in the bye, you're sitting... You don't play a game that week, so
right.
You're really game planning for the game in 2 weeks, but you're still thinking about that last game. And for them to lose, two back to back right before the bye, that would really hurt their confidence.
Absolutely. Look, ladies and gentlemen, this past game was a must-win game, and every game going forward throughout this. After the bye week is a must-win game. If this team is serious about reclaiming their throne as the Super Bowl champions, going after what they said was the new norm, right? Doug Peterson said the new norm was championships for Philadelphia, and I feel like every game from right now is a must-win game. You've given up the opportunity. Your flexibility is not there anymore, right?
I wouldn't say it's not there anymore because you're not going to win every game. They're not going to win.
Well, no,
happen.
And I had a take on Snapchat as well that the Eagles will go 6-2 throughout the next throughout the next 8 games. They have a heart. They got the Cowboys, then they got the Saints, then they got the Giants. The Giants are irrelevant. Yeah, I mean, we'll get to them later in the segment.
I wouldn't say the Giants are irrelevant because
wait.
Divisional games, I would never say say irrelevant because you never know what can happen in the division.
Ladies and gentlemen, and this is the first argument that we're gonna have on the Bills. You cannot tell me that the Giants are not hot. Did you see that game against the Redskins?
I did, but you can never.
Eli Manning is trash.
Know each other too well. The teams know each other too well.
And I get that, and yes, divisional games are usually tend to be close, but at the same time, the Giants suck, bro. They're dog shit, bro. They're dog shit.
They do. They are. But think about this season. Is there really any team that we can put past the Eagles? Because there's been several times where we thought the Eagles should easily handle a team.
Well,
Titans.
Well, look. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
You cannot sit here today and at this exact moment and just give the Eagles any games because they've proven to be time and time again that that doesn't matter, that they will lose. And the Buccaneers, they shouldn't have lost that game either.
No, that's true.
Games early in the season that you lose that you shouldn't have lost.
That's true. But let's talk about this game real quick. Let me get into this game, and then I'll give back to all that. The first quarter, Carson Wentz, he made some bad decisions.
He made a lot of bad decisions.
Giving up the football twice, I believe, in the first quarter with a fumble and then an interception. Bad read by him. Try to force it in there to Joshua Perkins in the back of the end zone. But that was a good play by who made that play? Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey, that interception.
Oh yeah, Ramsey. Yeah, Ramsey picked it up.
That was a good play by him. Nice read on the ball by him. Like I said,
we also have to remember that just because Jacksonville was 4-4, just like was 3-4, just like us, doesn't mean that they were a trash team. We're both pretty solid teams.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And to make matters even worse, Jacksonville has a top 3 defense in the league, I would say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Carson Wentz,
they have a pretty good secondary, even though they have gotten blown out in a few games this year. But they have a decent secondary. They have linebacker play. They have guys who can rush the passer. So the Eagles is not lacking.
This Eagles team made this Jaguars team look like crap. I'm not gonna hold you. They are crap. They're trash. Outside of the first quarter, Carson Wentz did a great job, phenomenal job, another excellent job. He continues to improve on his last year MVP season, what should have been MVP season. And he continues to go down that path with 3 touchdown passes and 1 interception. Let me look up the stats real quick. I think he had what was it?
I got him for you. He was 21 for 30,
yeah,
for 286 yards.
Yeah.
He averaged about 9.5 yards per throw. He had 3 touchdowns, a pick. Was sacked 4 times. He had a QBR of 83.
Okay.
Rating of 119. So, he had a solid game.
There you go, Skip. I know Skip Bayless loves the QBRs and everything. Right? You know what I mean? But no, outside of Carson Wentz, Josh Adams really stepped up in the running game. Almost had a big fumble in the fourth quarter, which reminded me of the I don't know if you remember.
Ryan Matthews one.
That's crazy because I wrote that down on my notes with the same thing in the Lions game, right? That's what you're talking about in 2016.
Oh my God.
Carson's rookie year. Yeah, exactly. That's crazy that you said that because that's exactly what I wrote down. It reminded me of that.
I thought you were going to say Smallwood because Smallwood did that before too. But Ryan Matthews, I remember that. Against the Detroit Lions, we were supposed to win that game.
Exactly.
And we didn't because he fumbled and then they essentially scored and we lost the game.
Exactly. So I thought the outcome was going to be like that. But luckily they rolled them down. But Josh Adams performed well. Nelson Aguilar performed okay. This offense did a great job. They did something that they haven't done before. Well, did a lot of, which was they were throwing the ball downfield, getting people in stretch plays and hitting Nelson and doing little gadget plays with Nelson and getting people in the open. Jordan Matthews coming up with big plays on third down.
What people have to realize is that this team. First off, they're coming off a Super Bowl. So when you come off a Super Bowl, just being in the Super Bowl in general, you're already behind the eight ball. Your offseason has started later than everybody else's. Then when you win, you have so many appearances and things that you have to do, ring ceremonies, and it's a lot. It really is a lot winning the Super Bowl. You don't really have time to relax and chill, and you just feel like you've been going since last year.
Exactly.
So that takes a toll a lot on these guys, and maybe the reason for the slow start. But they got Alshon back after week 2, week 3. Then they picked up Jordan Matthews, and
Right.
I think we're really starting to see the gelling, and the cohesion of Carson Wentz and his receiving core, and that's what you really want to see. The only thing that really needs to improve and quickly, especially here at the trade deadline tomorrow at 4 p.m., is the running game. And
Yeah.
once because everybody,
Yeah.
and it's so crazy because everybody wants to come down on the defense for losing us a lot of games and things of that nature. But when we look at our defense, our defense is ranked 6th in the league.
No.
We have the 6th ranked defense in the whole NFL.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So it's not really the defense. It's our offense because
Well, I think it's the sixth.
ball.
I think it's the 6th ranked scoring defense. I believe. I don't think it's the 6th overall. I think it's the 6th.
I can definitely check that.
Yeah,
but,
check that real quick. But no, you made up some valid points. Wendell Smallwood, he had a good job. He did a good job on that swing pass that Carson threw him. Finally catching the ball, you know what I mean, and taking it to the house. He did a good job. But in the running game, he just was not effective. And let me tell you something right now. Corey Clement is just not the same player as he was last year. I think he was 12 over the last couple of games. He's had 12 attempts for 12 yards. That is nowhere near good enough. And like you said, with the trade deadline coming up, this team needs to make some moves, and they need to make them quick. And I think they personally should start looking at running back. But we'll say that for later in the show. Defensively, the defense performed. I think had another great perform. Not great performance, but they performed well. Kind of slipped up there again late in the game, but man, oh man, we got a stud playing safety, man. You want to talk about somebody playing well? Shout out to Avonte Maddox, man.
I was going to say that same thing.
Shout out to Avonte Maddox.
Rookie coming out of Pittsburgh, stays in the state, and has really been somebody who reminds you of a guy from last year. When we went on that run, we had a lot of injuries, and we had a lot of guys step up. And Avonte Maddox this year is one of those guys. He stepped up in his role. His first game was rough.
Right.
His first NFL game. What do you expect? But he's definitely made strides. I hear that McLeod and Corey Graham are around him constantly at practice. They're helping this guy out.
And Malcolm Jenkins too.
Coaching him up. And that's what you need from a Super Bowl winning team.
Yep.
When you're down and you can't really help the team, you have to help the team on the field. You have to find other ways to help this team. And if that means coaching up another guy in your position, then that's exactly what it means.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more. He's been lights out ever since that he gave up that Titans touchdown for them to win the game.
I wouldn't say lights out, but he's definitely playing solid.
No, he's definitely been playing well. He's definitely one of the better players on defense that's been really playing well. Alongside with Fletcher Cox and of course Malcolm Jenkins, nonetheless, they always perform. But yeah, he had a key. Avonte Maddox had a key forced fumble, and he's had a big third down stop. Great tackle, and he, like I said, he's been really balling. So I'm glad to see that. But you know what? I'm not glad to see, Bills, is all these injuries keep piling up for the Philadelphia Eagles, and I feel like this is the storyline that is the Philadelphia Eagles. The injuries continue to pile up. You got Lane Johnson going out. I think they said MCL. He'll be out a couple weeks, maybe a
It's
month.
MCL sprain.
Yeah, MCL sprain. Okay. I think they said up to a month. I believe Rappaport said. You got Jalen Mills that was nicked up, that went out of the game with a foot injury.
I'm
Razul
not really
came in.
worried about that injury because of the play of Rasul Douglas. That guy is a
Right.
playmaker, and that's not something that I'm worried about at all.
No, and outside of a couple bad angles that he took, which is probably the reason why they don't want him playing safety. He performed really well. He did a great job out there. Now we don't know if that's just because just because he performed well this week doesn't mean he's necessarily going to do that next week against somebody better, or not next week, but the Cowboys or the Saints. Like, do we really trust Razul against Mike Thomas? I don't know. Some people might answer yes, but me, I've yet to see that. But like I said, every time you put that guy out there, he does make big plays. So I'm happy to get him out there and get him some experience. And we'll see where Sidney Jones is after the bye week. Hopefully he'll be back.
You definitely got to look at him. But going back to your point on the Eagles' defense, they're not top 10 overall in net total yards, but that was in scoring.
Scoring defense. Okay, right.
But still, that's still, first off, that's the most important thing, is to not let teams score.
Exactly.
And if you're sixth in that, then you're clearly doing something correct.
Exactly. So, which is one of the reasons why I feel like this is a great time to talk about potential trade offers, seeing that the deadline is coming up for the Philadelphia Eagles and the rest of the NFL tomorrow at 4 p.m. like you mentioned. What are some possible trades out there that you think the Philadelphia Eagles could do or should do that would make this team a Super Bowl caliber team again? If any moves out there that you would think that would do that.
It's so hard because there's not a lot of valuable options. You have guys like Alfred Morris. I'm not a great fan of his, but he is available. You could also look at Carlos Hyde. He's a viable option. I like the way he runs. He's a hard-nosed runner. He could definitely be an option.
Well, they're definitely not trading him because he just got traded to the Jaguars, so that's not happening. But
but I'm saying, why could we not trade with the Jaguars? I don't understand why.
Well,
I know he just got traded.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah. So I don't think, and plus,
he just got traded to Jacksonville, but Jacksonville could easily move him.
No, that's true. Well, I was thinking a little bit bigger than that, man. And I'm thinking you go get two players for the offensive because, as you pointed out, the defense is the 6th ranked defense in the NFL in scoring. And it's the offense, man. It's the offense. It's really the offense. And you need explosive playmakers, and this offense just doesn't have that. Outside of Alshon Jeffries, who I wouldn't call explosive, but he's a playmaker, and Zach Ertz, you really don't really have that guy. So I would say, I don't know if the Eagles or even if Pittsburgh is going to do it. And yes, everybody's been talking about it on sports radio, and we all think it's a pipe dream, but go out there and go and do what you got to do to go sign Le'Veon Bell, man. Do it right now.
Yeah, but that's a hard move. The Steelers are gonna want so much for him, man. I just don't see it happening. People don't want to give up that much for a guy like that. First off, a guy who can't stay healthy, hasn't played a full NFL season, continually gets hurt. He's also at a position where he gets used a lot, and he's just going to deteriorate. I just don't see the Eagles putting a lot of,
Look, man.
Or a player with talent just to get him.
Look, man. Do you want
And
to win the
also,
Super Bowl
I
or
don't
not?
feel
Do you want to re-win the Super Bowl or not? Do you remember that feeling we had on February 4th? Do you
yeah,
remember that feeling?
I clearly understand what you're saying, but in terms of do we need to really get a running back like that? I don't feel like that's necessary because if we look let's take a look at the New England Patriots, right? They're a dynasty. They've won 4 or 5 Super Bowls. They haven't had a guy who can really pound it. You know, they don't really. That's not their. They don't need a running back. That's not some. They have White. They had Deion Lewis a few years. They had a whole. You know, they had a plethora of guys.
Would you take White and Deion Lewis over Josh Adams, Wendell Smallwood, and Corey Clement right now? I damn sure
I don't
would.
really like the way you were talking about Corey. Like he's been trash. Corey's been hurt. We used him a lot last year. To be completely honest. And he's coming up in certain situations. They're trying to run him between the tackles, and that's just not his game. He's never been. Even when we used him last year, he wasn't a between the tackles type of guy. He is the type of guy. You throw the ball out to him, he'll catch it, make a move, make somebody miss, he'll run you over. He can run between the tackles here and there, but that's not. He's not a power back. He's just a guy who has solid vision,
right?
And can make plays, but you normally would use him in the zone concept or that type of thing where he can see the hole and then blast right through it.
And look, I want to make this clear. I love Corey Clement. Corey Clement did wonders for this team last year, but you cannot sit here and tell me Corey Clement has produced on this field for this team this year. He just hasn't. He's not the same player as he was last year. And yes, some of that is due to injury, but they proclaim him to be healed and ready to play.
But you also have to remember this. People
just not
saw
producing.
that we were killing with Corey. People saw that we were very successful in using him and putting him in different, packages, and he helped us win a Super Bowl. So now, this is a whole new season. So now teams are scheming for him, and there's a difference between
they scheme for everybody. They scheme for everybody.
No. There's a difference between, when you're a primary person that's being schemed against and you're just a guy out there, playing the game. Granted, I do understand what you're saying. Everybody gets schemed. Yes. They know about everybody. But there's guys that certain teams focus on. And Corey made that list. Corey is a guy that defenses know where he's at all times. People, they're keying in on him because he was so successful last year. And that's a good thing.
I don't see that, man. I don't see it.
I'm not surprised that teams have done this.
Look, man, I don't see that. I honestly don't see that. Now, you want to talk about somebody who would scheme? You got to scheme against? That's Le'Veon Bell. You want to take this team from a mediocre team to a serious contender team, and yes, this Philadelphia Eagles team is mediocre still. We don't know what are the Philadelphia Eagles. We don't know. That's why you go get Le'Veon Bell.
This team is mediocre.
You go get Le'Veon Bell and make this team a Super Bowl contending team. And then what I also would do, and to your point about, I think you said Pittsburgh, you got a good. I would give up a second round pick. We got 2 second round picks.
That's not going to be enough.
I think the Pittsburgh Steelers. Why would they want a dude and that dude in their locker room? Tell me, please. They have. You cannot tell me
he's not going to play for them this season.
He has to.
Everybody's talking about him coming back this week. He's not coming back. He is not playing. I don't think he's coming back. I don't think he's playing.
You realize if he doesn't come back,
he came back this week yet.
You realize if he doesn't come back, he forfeits his right to be a free agent, right? And he's still gonna be part of the Steelers. So any offers he was looking to get on a free agent, he can't do that unless he comes back. I think it's week 10 or something like that.
That bodes well for Pittsburgh because, we didn't have him this year, but now we'll have him. So, like in terms of a trade leverage, other teams don't have that trade leverage because he's not playing.
Right. No, I get it. And who knows if he would play for the Eagles, right?
Since he's not playing, so it's like, no, we're gonna have him for another year. Well, I'm gonna wait and see how much I can get for this guy because he's currently not playing.
Right. And who knows if he would pull this stunt on the Eagles or whatnot, and I get it. But I just say you want to go win the Super Bowl, you make this move. And another move I would also make is I would bring back Deshaun Jackson. Go get that deep threat. You tell me right now. You go get Deshaun Jackson. You go get Le'Veon Bell with Carson Wentz, Alshon Jeffrey, Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert. That's too. Nelson Aguilar.
I don't even think
too much power, man.
The craziest part is I don't even think that this team is worrying about a running game right now. If anything, they'll probably get a little wide receiver. They'll probably get like a T.Y. Hilton maybe, or they might get a decent.
A couple other names that came up were Golden Tate seems to be on the market, and Pierre Garçon. Now, I don't expect the Eagles to be on Pierre Garçon, but it said that the Lions are looking for a mid-round pick for Golden Tate. He's a great player. He's a good player. Now,
I don't see the fit though because he doesn't take. I guess
I was about to say no. He's definitely fast.
He can take the top off, but I feel like he's more of a Nelson Aguilar-esque player to the fact that he's a slot type of guy. I don't really think he's an outside guy, and this team's not gonna bring in another slot guy. We already have enough slot guys who can play the slot. We have Jordan Matthews. We have Nelson Aguilar. We need another guy who can really take the top off of defense.
You want Demaryius Thomas? Demaryius Thomas, the Broncos said that.
I don't want Demaryius Thomas, and I saw that too. The Broncos are looking to shop him, but I'm not a fan of him. He had a few good seasons, and that was really it. He's not a difference maker. He's not a guy who people really fear.
How about Emmanuel Sanders? They said they looking to trade Emmanuel Sanders too. I mean,
well, Emmanuel Sanders, that's maybe a better option because he can take the top off of a defense, but again, very inconsistent. But you don't really know what his full potential could be because with Carson Wentz, he could be a totally different
Exactly,
player.
I was about to say.
Being in Denver,
as long as number's 11 under center, we're good. As long as number 11's under center, we're good. Carson Wentz, look, man, it's a reason why players wanted to come here. Carson is that great, and like I said, he proved it again. Outside the first quarter, he had some bad decisions, like we said before, but he played lights out once again. That's the Wentz wagon right there. And people are going to continue to want to come here and play with them. And that's what I'm saying. That's one of the reasons why I think Le'Veon Bell would be a great option because why wouldn't he? He sees Carson Wentz. He sees the greatness. And why wouldn't you want to come play for a Super Bowl team? And like I said, if you go trade for Le'Veon, you got to have a contract planned out already for him. You gotta have to pay the man. That's just is what it is. And I understand the argument for not paying him because you gotta pay Carson, you gotta pay Jordan Hicks, you gotta pay Nelson. It's a lot of people that you gotta pay coming up.
You can't add another high powered salary onto your the cap. We're so close to the cap. It's unreal.
But
that's why we let a lot of the guys from last year go because that's why we didn't bring back Blunt. That's why we didn't bring back other guys like Curry and Bo Allen and guys like that because we didn't have enough money and these guys were asking for too much and we didn't have enough to go around. And Howie still got to remember that he's got to pay guys like Carson Wentz and Nelly and.
Has Howie had a disappointment? Has Howie let us down before?
Yes,
is Howie a wizard at this thing? Howie Roseman is
currently a wizard.
Howie Roseman is probably one of the best GMs in the NFL.
Pre-Chip Kelly, Howie Roseman was
hot garbage, as I like to say. Yes, I agree with that. But this second coming of Howie Roseman has been nothing but fire, and like I said, he knows how to get it done. So if you go if they make that move for Le'Veon Bell, don't worry. Howie Roseman knows how to get it done. I'm not worried about that. And it's not our money. Why are we worried about our money? The Eagles' money. It's not our money. I don't care how much they pay him. As long as we get another Super Bowl and Carson Wentz is our team.
As Eagles fans, you have to be aware of how much the Eagles are paying in cap, because that determines who they can and can't get. There's only a certain amount. The NFL doesn't have a luxury tax like the NBA, that you can't go over the cap.
Right.
So, once you get to the cap limit, you're at the cap limit. So that is something that, as fans, we should worry about. And it's all fun and games to really talk about, I'd love to have Le'Veon, I'd love to have LaShawn McCoy, I'd love to have DJ. But when you start looking at the numbers and you start looking how old these guys are, and whether or not they're really going to be worth it to bring this.
Well, Le'Veon's 26, so you can't say about that. Le'Veon's 26.
Yeah, but yes, he's 26, which means you'd have to pay him years and years and years and years and years. He's going to want another long-term deal.
Right. Well, yeah, his contract's up after this year, so he's looking to get paid.
What I'm saying is, even after that contract, he might be looking for another long-term.
But I'm not. But like I said, I'm not worried about that right now. I'm worried about a Super Bowl. Do we want to win a Super Bowl or not?
That's what you have to be worried about. You cannot say, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about a Super Bowl. But the way you
well, that's all I'm looking for, man.
Well, and doing well in the draft. That's how you sustain a dynasty in this league.
And I 100% agree. But I'm looking to the 2018 Philadelphia Eagles, and we're halfway through the season. We're 4-4. We need explosive players. We need playmakers on this offense. And what do you need to do to go do that? If you're serious about going to get another Super Bowl, you go trade for arguably one of the top playmakers in the NFL, not even at his position, just period in the NFL, top playmakers. So of course I'm gonna have a serious interest, and like I said, I believe a second round pick gets the job done. But that's me. But that's just me. But
again, a second round pick is not going to do anything for you. The Steelers are not stupid. The Steelers know what the Eagles are trying to do, and they're not gonna give up a talent like Le'Veon Bell for a second round pick. This guy Le'Veon Bell is talked about being one of the best, running backs at his position. And you can't give him up for a second round pick. That's like saying we would give up, let's say if Carson was Le'Veon and doing things that Le'Veon did. That's like saying giving up Carson Wentz.
Right. No, I definitely feel you. And
you don't do that.
Nah, man, nah. Look, man, he wants out of Pittsburgh. I believe it's a volatile situation with the offensive line. Why would you want him back in your locker room? I just don't get it. But like I said, I think the Eagles should go get Le'Veon Bell. How about on the defensive side? People were talking about a couple of corners, Patrick Peterson, Carl Joseph from the Oakland Raiders. John Gruden's a mess, getting rid of everybody in sight. And
Chip Kelly wave.
Exactly. And also talking about HaHa Clinton Dix presumably being available for trade from the Green Bay Packers at safety. Any of these names intrigue you, or any names that you would look for on the defensive side if the Eagles were to make a trade on that side of the ball?
Nah. Defensively, you can't. They don't need to trade anybody currently right now. And it's so hard on defense. I feel like, especially in the secondary, you've gotta. Your secondary has to move as one, essentially. So it's
right.
like, everybody has to be on the same page. Everybody has to be, moving on the same wave, moving at the same wavelength.
Right.
And you've got to have that trust as a defender that, that your teammate is going to be where he needs to be and he's going to have your back. And to bring in somebody mid-season, week 8,
right?
That's very tough to build that trust out of thin air, and that's why you don't really see a lot of defensive guys get traded defensive backs get traded like that to teams, because it's such a hard it's such a hard turnaround.
Right. It's all about
to
chemistry.
team and go through a mini camp,
Right.
and go through a training camp with that team and really gel with those guys and know what's going on and be able to maneuver and then get shipped to another city in the middle of the season and still be productive.
Right.
And then learn their system and then gel with those guys. It takes a while.
Facts. And
so it's like good wine. It takes a while for it to mature and to be at its best. So it's just like it's hard. It's just something hard. That's why I'm saying people are talking about Patrick Peterson. If we were to do it, I would say we would take Patrick Peterson and then trade him for something better.
Right.
That's what
and this is where we had. This is how this podcast came about, ladies and gentlemen. We had the argument over Twitter about this man saying for the Philadelphia Eagles to acquire Patrick Peterson then to flip him. That makes no sense. That just doesn't make sense. Why would you flip somebody who has a salary cap hit? I think they said upwards to like $12 million or something of that nature, but a large salary cap hit nonetheless. You have to take that on, and then flip him for somebody you could essentially get anyway. It just doesn't make sense.
But that's what I'm saying. You're making it seem as though that we can get the person anyway. We clearly can't get the guy that we want right now.
And who do we want? Who do we want? Who do Philadelphia?
I don't know, but whoever Howie Roseman wants right now, he cannot get with the guys that he has on this team, or he would just have to give up too much. And so, essentially,
I don't see that.
If you find somebody, look, this happens in the NBA all the time. Oh, you want him? All right, it's called a 3-team trade. You go there, he goes here, and we get him. So essentially, that's what would happen.
And who do you presume?
It would be a 3-team trade. The Eagles would acquire, Patrick Peterson technically, then move him somewhere else, and we'd get somebody, and somebody else would get somebody
and
else.
Who would you flip Patrick Peterson for, man? Who would you be flipping him for?
Then, here we go. If you want that Le'Veon thing to happen, here's how you get Le'Veon.
Oh, man.
Acquire Patrick Peterson, and then you trade him to Pittsburgh for Le'Veon Bell. That is what I would do.
For Le'Veon Bell, wow. I just don't see that happening, and I see where you're coming from. I just don't see that happening ever.
I don't see that happening either, but that's a plausible way that we could end up with Le'Veon. It's very out there and slim to none, but that is a way that we can get Le'Veon.
Right, and like I said, we shall see what Howie Roseman does. We'll be looking forward to the trade deadline at 4:00 tomorrow. Now, let's get your takes for losers and winners of the week, or stars of the week. Who was your stars of the week on offense and defense, bro?
Offense, I just gotta give it to the young kid Josh Adams, the rookie from Notre Dame, also from Ben Salem. He's from close to around where we're from, but he's done a phenomenal job. Yesterday, I would say 2 days ago. No, yesterday. I'm tripping. Yesterday. Coming in as a rookie and at the end of the game, coming into the game, that's a lot of pressure on a young guy. That's a lot of pressure, and especially when the big talk about this team is running game and closing out games. For you to, be a rookie and to come in and to be effective, almost lost us the game there, but, he ended up not. But, he still did certain things that were good and helped this team and propelled this team to a win. So, I definitely can't complain with that.
Absolutely. And how about on the defensive side?
The defensive side, Maddox played at a high level. Yeah. Also, Rasul coming in.
You took mine right there. Well, Vontae Maddox.
It's hard because it's just like, this guy, I know he's talented, and I know he wants to play. And,
right.
The coaching staff is just kind of like, they don't really know they know they don't want to move him. They know he's a good player. They know they might need him.
Right.
But, his role on this team is just uncertain at the moment. He's just a backup. And Rasul seems like he can play. I feel like they gotta find a way to put him on this field. I don't know where it is, whose spot he might have to take, or whose spot might have to get flipped. I don't know, but somehow, some way, Rasul Douglas needs to get on this field. Way more than he already does.
And I somewhat agree. Like I said before, I think he's a good player. It's just I don't think he's consistent enough. But how can you be consistent also when he doesn't get play? So I understand that. But we shall see. My offensive stars of the week are is Carson Wentz, of course, the Wentz wagon, number 11. He did his thing, like I said, outside of the first quarter. He played magnificent yet again. And also, like I said, like you said, on defense, Avonte Maddox played outstanding. Now for losers of the week. Who's your loser of the week on offense, bro?
On offense, it's going to be an unpopular opinion, but I'm definitely going to have to say Carson Wentz. You can't
the
have...
wagon?
You can't have two...
Oh,
two
yeah.
turnovers.
And here's how we start our argument.
You can't have two turnovers in the first quarter.
Okay, I can agree with you. Carson Wentz has to fix his fumbling problems. I think they said he's had 30 fumbles over his career, and that's leading the NFL. That's not good at all. So, yes.
He has the Big Ben syndrome where he holds the ball a little bit longer than he really should.
Right.
And doesn't like to throw the ball away. And eventually he's going to have to get to the point where he can throw the ball away. When we talk about great quarterbacks, and you talk about your Peyton Mannings, your Tom Brady's, your Aaron Rodgers,
right?
These are guys that see the field well, know what's going on. If they don't have it, they throw it away. They have a great internal clock where they know, all right, I should have been at the ball by now. I should have had the ball out of my hand already by now, and now it's time for me to just throw the ball away and start over scratch. Because sometimes when he holds onto the ball and tries to make plays, it does end up well, but also
it's that Brett Favre. He has that Brett Favre in him.
Exactly, yeah. It leads to more sacks, but then it also leads to more fumbles for him. And so that's something that he needs to clean up in his game. So I'm not just coming at him in his game and these two, turnovers that he had. I've seen this is a pattern with him. This is something that, it's not like happening a lot, but it's something that we need to be aware of and something that he definitely needs to get better at.
Yeah, and I agree with that. But outside of those, like I said, he played phenomenal. He cannot be a loser of the week. It's just not. That's not feasible, man. He is the reason why you won that game. Without Carson Wentz, with Nick Foles back there, you're not winning that game. So I can't say I can't give him the loser of the week.
He's got to do better.
Yes, I agree with that to a certain extent. As far as the fumbles and that dumb interception that he had over the middle to try to force it in, like I said, to Joshua Perkins. You can't do that. That's just a dumb mistake. Throw the ball away, live for another down. I get that. But Carson Wentz played a magnificent game outside of that. Dodging, I think Calais Campbell left him sitting there wondering how the heck he got away. Using his legs, finally. Getting some first downs, moving the chains with his legs. Like I said, Carson Wentz had a great game outside of those fumbles and interceptions. But I'll leave that alone. For me, my loser of the week on offense would be Corey Clement. Just didn't. He's not producing. He's not, like I said, he's not producing. And defensively, my loser of the week is also, I would have to say, Dexter McDougal. I do not want that guy in the slot. Sidney Jones, please get back healthy soon. Dexter McDougal was horrible, slipping all over the field. I don't know what the heck was going on with him. Yeah, I had enough of him on my screen. So please, Sidney Jones, get healthy soon, man. How about you? Who's your loser on defense?
This was hard because I felt like the defense played, well for the most part. kind of wanted to see a little bit more from Josh Sweat.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely a good one. That's definitely a good one. I think he had 4 snaps. He was only in there for
Yeah,
it.
and he had one tackle, and it was a solo tackle.
Yeah. No, he had a good tackle. Yeah, he had one tackle. Yeah, and with
I don't.
Barnett, with Barnett out, you're gonna need him to step up. That's definitely someone who's gonna need to be
Yeah,
step
and
up.
that was not enough for me. I was hoping that I'd see a little bit more, um, but it was just lackluster. I don't know. It wasn't what I needed to see. It wasn't what I wanted to see. I was kind of low key excited because of how well he played at Florida State, and it was kind of a steal because of his injury. But I don't know. It just it left me more to be desired. It left more to be desired. So
Right. So, with that being said, let's get to what's next for what's going on in the division. Next, I believe the Giants. Who do the Giants play next? You know?
the Giants.
Yeah, I know.
Hold on 1 second. Well, I don't know who the Giants play yet, but so far Dallas plays Tennessee, Washington plays Atlanta.
Oh no, the Giants have a bye week. That's it. That's
That's
it.
what I thought. Okay, so they
The Giants have a bye week.
as us.
Yes. That's who it is. So the Redskins play Atlanta, and it's in Washington, correct? I believe it's in DC.
That matchup.
Yes. Yeah. I believe that's in
Yeah.
DC. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who you see winning that? We know that the the Redskins are 5-2, defeating a bad Giants team and looking horribly doing so.
Fake news.
What do you think? What do you think in that one?
It's a toss up. It depends if they can get Julio started. I just don't understand how they can't find ways to get Julio Jones the ball.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. You have a quarterback who's who can play well in Matt Ryan, the Penn Charter product.
Right.
I just don't understand how you can't find Julio in the end zone.
Yeah.
For some reason they can't. But they do have that young kid from the rookie from Alabama.
Calvin Ridley. Yep.
So he's playing at a high level. They still have Sanu. They got a little bit of a running game. Defensively, they had a lot of
Devontae
injuries,
Freeman's
so
out.
they can't really stop people. But I think I still might take Atlanta in this. I don't know. I forget Washington. I don't care.
I definitely feel you. I see this game as a toss-up, like you said. Unfortunately, I do probably see the Washington Redskins winning it, and mainly because it's at home, and AP's been looking good, and I don't know how good the Atlanta defense is. I think they've been trash lately, so I look forward to seeing. I think that the Redskins are going to take that one, unfortunately. And you said the Cowboys play the Titans, correct? And
Yeah.
I think that's Sunday Night Football right there. Where you see that one going?
Oh yeah, I got Tennessee.
You got Tennessee. Tennessee on the road.
Cowboys
Okay.
are fake news. Their defense is okay.
Now remember,
very high
you get to
on it.
see Amari Cooper, his debut as a Cowboy.
Yeah, it doesn't really mean anything to me. Amari Cooper's not anything to be scared of. So because of that factor, it's essentially the same team. They essentially cannot stretch the field. They have no deep threat. People are not scared of Amari Cooper. You can, cover Amari Cooper with one corner. You don't have to double cover Amari Cooper. He is not that type of player.
Right.
Especially these last few years.
And
Now,
led the lead in drops too.
Exactly. So he's not somebody that teams are scared of. Teams are still going to stack the box against the Cowboys, stop the run, and then once the run is stopped, and then you force them to pass, it's going to be a little bit over for them. But I'm intrigued to see what Tennessee does.
Exactly.
Because
You telling me Dak Prescott? You telling me Dak Prescott can't lead a team to victory?
He can, but he's not Carson Wentz.
Oh yeah, he's definitely not Carson Wentz.
He can't do it without like a passing game.
And whoever says Dak Prescott is better than Carson Wentz is a moron, or
Yeah,
it's just Skip
we
Bayless.
silenced those critics last year when Carson Wentz had an MVP season and clearly Dak didn't with
Exactly.
no running game.
Exactly. So,
That's a different story for a different day, you know.
yeah. So to close it out, I just wanted to ask the question: what are the Philadelphia Eagles, man? Who are the Philadelphia Eagles, and what do you see this team doing coming up after this
To
bye
be
week?
honest, Aaron, I feel like that's a great question. This team is currently trying to figure out who they really are and trying to figure out their identity and then trying to build on that identity. When we think about last season and who they were, this was a resilient team. This was a team that felt like everybody was doubting them and was telling them that they couldn't be the best team in the NFL, and they overcame that and they showed people that they were the best team. So, you know, that was their identity last year. This year, they can't be that. Everybody already knows who they are. Everybody knows that they're Super Bowl champs. Everybody knows that they're such a good team. Now they have to find a new identity and a new thing that drives them to this Super Bowl win. And, you know, I think they're in the process of finding it out. I think they may have found it out.
Right.
Because, you know, last year they depended a lot on the run like we talked about through this whole podcast. And now they can't really do that.
Right.
They
No,
can, but
exactly.
only to a certain extent. And so this team has to find a way to band together and to win games
Right.
without, without a powerful running game. And that is, I think, the key to them being, successful.
And I agree with that. And like that's why one of the reasons again I said you go out there, get yourself a Le'Veon Bell, get yourself a Deshaun Jackson, and now you can keep up with these teams like the New Orleans Saints or the Los Angeles Rams, who are high power offenses who can put up 30 plus points at any given game. You know what I mean? That's why I say you go do that. And to answer what are the Philadelphia Eagles, I don't know, to be honest. The second half is going to tell us a lot about who the Philadelphia Eagles are. And tomorrow is going to tell us a lot about what the Philadelphia Eagles look at themselves as. As, like I said, the trade deadline is coming up. We're going to find out what this team is made of. So it's interesting to see. We're big Eagles fans. We can't thank you enough for listening to the first episode of the Fly Talk podcast. Bills, where can people find you on social media, my guy?
Again, you can find me on Instagram at King_Bills with a Z, or you can follow me on Twitter at BillTrice31.
And you can follow me, A_Schneider_A1, all social media. You know what it is. It's Fly Talk, man. Fly Eagles Fly. Let's get it, B.
Yeah.